Hello, this is another 2-down level game played on Foxxy, where black won by resignation because of killing a bunch of stones in the lower left corner quite unexpectedly. Let's see how the game proceeded from the beginning. So black starts with a Komoko in the top right corner, but usually it should be R16. At least this is the move we see in all the professional games that start with a Komoko in the top right, and probably this has something to do with the shape of the board, which is not a square but a rectangle. So anyway, it doesn't matter so much when playing online, I guess. White is inviting black for a diagonal Fuseki playing this Komoko. This R4 is good, but black goes for a parallel Fuseki instead. So he doesn't want to fight right away by going cross court. It's also a fine option. Now here, white has to go for another corner. San, very territorial, so far so good. Black takes the Shimari. So this feels a little bit more narrow if black develops on the top side, even though it's the same thing. I mean, if we have the same position with black having a stone here, then white a Komoko in the top, then black Q3, San, and then this Shimari, it's exactly the same thing, but it feels larger on the right side because the board, it's wider on the right and more narrow on the top. So back to the original game. Yeah, Shimari, white attacks the top left corner, which is good, prevent the second Shimari. Black plays very calm the Kosumi, also very common move. Now here black can think about a pincer like H17 or J17 to work with his top right Shimari and setting up a Moyo, but usually what happens, white will put pressure a couple of times and simply leave the 3 stones behind, because that formation is resilient already and very difficult for black to attack later on. So now white can play either a Shimari like this or like this, or the low right corner, some fancy Shimari, modern one, or play some testing move like Q16, which can create complicated fights right on. So calm and collected, Kosumi, white extends for a base, also very good. Now this is the situation where white should consider Q16. So let's see the follow-up of the probably the most common or basic variation here. We actually see this a lot in professional and AI games. So white can continue with Hane and push a couple of times and then extend in the top. So this will work very well with the original approach, because white is setting up a wall and then also gets the middle side extension. So those stones connect very well, has a good flow in the top for white. Also, white doesn't need necessarily to turn. It's good enough to extend in the top like this or like this. Actually, I prefer the 4th line extension here, right in the middle, because playing the 3rd line either this way or this way feels a little bit flat for white, being all those stones on the 3rd line. So white extends right away, this is fine, but it's good to remember that white can consider Q16 in this particular case to try something more modern like AI-oriented Joseki. Now black attacks right away, which is good direction of play for the top right Shimari, but this can also wait. I mean, right now black can attack at P3 or put pressure at D4. Well, it's a matter of preference of style. So white defends the corner, that's good. Black jumps. This feels a little bit slow. It's nice for the box in the top right, but it's not that important right now in the top, and it's also gote. Black can extend on the left side at C11. This is a pretty good shape, or put some pressure at F16 and then either Nobi or extend again on the left side. So black can develop a little faster than just a one space jump. Now here white it's Sente, and white got a pretty large point, this 04, it's very good. Now white can think about attacking the left side, and I spot to attack it's C12, because those 2 stones, they were supposed to extend for a base at C11. So when this happens, black will most likely go for the top to connect his stones. Then white extends back on the left side, and this makes black stone, I mean that kind of wall, feel a little bit useless, because white already got the formation in front of the wall. The wall is generating power towards this direction, but it's already neutralized. So that's an interesting move to think about in Fuseki, this C12 to take away the base. But yeah, Shimari can be bad. Now when white plays this Shimari, white wants to extend around r10. So for black it's interesting to play an extension, let's say r9, because black already has the Shimari here, the extension in the top, so it's always nice to get the second one. That's why white can also think about some extension on the right side, such as q10, to prevent black developing the moyo towards the right. So black approaches this lower left corner. That's an interesting approach. It's more common to play d4 or to play d6 and extend back to c10. This feels like better distance to the d15 corner. But playing here, it kind of helps white. White will Keima to get ahead. So let's see this Joseki. We play Hoshi, star point to put pressure. White can block d3 or c4. It's not really the same thing. So when d3, black will go Nobi here. White plays the Keima. Black jumps in the middle. Black can also choose to play e3 and then extend for a base at j3 to switch direction towards the bottom. But again, white will attack quite severe those two stones in the top left. Now, in general, black plays a two-space jump to go for outside thickness. Then when white Keima to grab the territory in the corner, black jumps again. So this will give black a lot of potential to set up some moyo in the center later on. It's a basic pattern. Now when white blocks the other way, I mean white pushes under at c4, black will go up, and then when Keima under, black can turn and go for the left side, which is anyway black's focus here. What I see a lot in the AI suggestion is that white can push one more time and then Keima on the second line, but again black is happy to block here, and when white plays away, black will extend to the middle of the side. But the idea with pushing again at 4 for white is that white doesn't have to play f3 or f4 right away. So right now white can also invade the left side. Anyway, you should always spend some time to choose whether to push one way or the other according to the other stones on the board. So you gotta picture how this follow-up will end. I mean this local sequence. It can be this Joseki or Keima, or push again and then Keima, and now when black turns you take away its extension. So there are ways to consider whether to block one side or the other, and it's good to spend some time and decide. Now black approach here, so obviously white will step ahead at e4, that's very good. Push, get ahead. Now that's a little bit hasty. Black should play c4, in which case white usually descends and then black extends for a base at c9. This is a basic pattern. Now if white plays here and black connects, white still needs to go down at b3, because if white plays the invasion, black immediately hane and black will fix quite comfortable. So white goes down, this brings territory on the bottom in the corner, and then black needs to extend for a base, and now white can play a big point. That's actually also Joseki. So black comes in at m3, that's slightly desperate, especially leaving these two heavy stones behind. White plays a pincer, that's really good. Black goes for a bottom life, that's okay, it's a classic follow-up. White captures a stone. Now in this case, white should just go Nobi, because the stone is captured anyway, and white's corner is just bigger. So it's not necessary to capture here, because when white goes Nobi, that r3 becomes a territory point for white. If black keeps pushing here in the endgame, Atari, connect, and you defend again like this or like this, you clearly gain more points in the corner compared to leaving this Atari for later in the game. I mean, in Yose, when black plays Atari r1, if white connects, black can go down and destroys lots of points in the corner. If white plays Atari here, black will capture the ko, and after that, black is looking for s1. And the thing is, if by some kind of very far scenario, this white group gets surrounded, the Atari can actually bother white because it takes away the eye shape. When in this position, when white goes simply Nobi, there is no problem for eyes in the corner for this kind of group, never in the future. So it's very important to decide whether to take or to stretch, and in this position going out, it's more profitable. So it's good to remember that aspect. Now when black defends here, white doesn't have to hane. White's group on the lower right is very powerful, and also black already defended here to keep the eye shape safe. So right now white is center. White can extend all the way to r10 or even further at r12, and then from this move, actually white is trying to get inside at r16, so that's a preparation for invasion. Also, white can play on the left side, something like d8, for example, or c8, or even c9, because these two stones are in trouble, so they still need to run out. And for white, it's very nice to make a base and make these walls just feel floating into the center. So playing the Hane is not necessary because it kind of helps black. I mean, when you play a Hane here, black will block with the Hane. Now you're supposed to get ahead to prevent the Atari. It's quite nice for black to get the Atari at n6. So normally white needs to no B, and it's going to be Gote because it doesn't affect the black group, and black can just extend at r9. So this will prevent white's thickness becoming too large. Therefore, it's not necessary to play Hane and then Nobi to take Gote. It's more interesting to extend all the way to r10, because if black goes n5 or one space jump, it doesn't affect the right side so much. So playing this Hane just got white into trouble, and the peep, it's also somewhat wishful thinking, because black is not going to connect directly, but Atari first and then connect. So these moves here for white turn into neutral points and just didn't accomplish anything. So white turns. Normally for white it's interesting to cut, but it still doesn't do much because black will just turn, and then when Atari here, black will extend on the right. Playing the turn doesn't do much either because black is already alive, and again black can extend in front of the wall. Going ahead with Keima, it's also not going to expand so much because once again black can extend on the right side. So for white it's interesting to play something like r10 to use the wall, so extend from the wall, but in fact it's still more good, I mean much better to attack the left side to be more active. So black extended r11, but that's a little bit shy. He could go all the way to r10, and if white invades, black extends again. So in a way, these last moves were a little bit slow for white, and it can cost because the Fuseki, it's going to be slightly better for black like this. This r9 is still good as an extension from the Shimari, but black's Moe is nice, and now black can still play on the left side first. So instead of playing r9, should forget about the right side and be active on the left. Because if black extends again to r8, you can also extend at c12. And now what you gain on the left side is much bigger than the damage on the right. Oh, black defended L2, but he doesn't need to. I mean, right now, if black plays c4 and then he extends c9, even if white goes here, luckily, when black connects, this group is alive. Also, the group is already in the center. I mean, on this Atari, black and block can just stay safe, or he can still go out. I mean, it's not that dangerous. So playing L2 was more like an endgame move. It's true that black has a follow-up on the bottom, but white can be aggressive and attack the left side. Good, but it can be c8 or even further, because if black separates, let's say black plays this, and another move, white extends. So it's more comfortable to go deeper into the top left. So like this, black will separate. Oh no, he didn't. He just went out. Very good to push and cut. And now, white actually, this was good also. White could profit even more. So here there's a cutting point. If white defends, black defends against the cut, actually black can Atari first and then defend. Now white will probably just Atari and cover to catch the bottom stones. But okay, this gives black some potential in the center. Now black wants to save the stones in the middle, and in this case, white should just cut and go out. If black wants to resist like this, you Atari a couple of times and catch the two stones. So black's option is to push again. And now white can simply get ahead several times, so the left side is safe. It's true that black has some potential in the center, but now white is center, so white can come inside from the top. So going out here, it's a bit more dangerous. I mean, the cut obviously gives some profit on the spot, and the Nobi, it's still a long fight. Black can Atari first, which happened, and then jump out. Oh, he connected solid. Yeah, if black plays the hanging connection, white will play this move, threatening a snapback and then connect under. Now when black defends the left side, white attacks the middle. If black defends the middle, white attacks the left side, and this is quite painful because on the Hane you can counter Hane, when cover you block, if cut you extend, Hane block connect, go out, let him escape, and then back to the center fight. How is the ladder here? Okay, maybe we need another move here. But overall, this starts to be more interesting for black than the cut, because white really needs to go back and connect at c4. This is not the kind of situation where, for example, if white has a stone at b2 and black had somewhere in the middle, whatever, like this, and black tries to cut, white can play b4, and when black goes down, white connects, because on this Atari you just connect. But not having the stone at b2, that move at b5 can be fatal for white, and it's going to turn out that way. So black defends here, but black can already go for the capture. Now the only thing white can do is connect b3, then he's losing those stones, and that's it. So it's a much better way for black to defend capturing some stones. Now let's see how it turns out. So black first extends on the left side. The way black should extend on the left should be c12, because it's a better connection to d15. This move still leaves an invasion point at d13. Okay, white surrounds like this. Black comes out. No b. Now it's still proper for white to connect, and then when black goes out, you just no b on the bump. You lean a little bit on the left. Sorry, Tsuke first. And then this one, and then jump again in the middle. So all the stones are safe, and it's still a long game. Okay, so no b. Black finally found the Tetsuji to disconnect those stones. And here we go. Now here, white should just connect b3, then black needs to capture the stone. But okay, white can leave it for now and use it as a cotret. This Tsuke is good. This is fine too. And then should continue with a Kosumi to put pressure on the stone and push it into the wall. Something like this. Playing the connection, it's easy for black to come out with Kosumi or play Kosumi here first and then jump out. Yeah. Here black should jump because it puts more pressure on white group. But now the game, it's already difficult for white because of losing the stones on the left side absolutely for free. White was attacking and he lost the keystone, so now it's kind of finished. Oh, black allows that cut. Interesting. Black should just connect calm. White still needs to protect this group and then push once here and jump out like that. The group is still on the run. So, black defends, white comes out with a cap. This is quite good because the 3 stones are in trouble too. Now push, no b. And here white can think about the cut. The cut is actually nice because when black cuts, black is in an empty triangle. And now white can play this move to connect in Sente. If black comes out here, white just cuts the tail and it's fine. And if black connects, white can push no b. Now when black plays here, white can make a bamboo. When black pushes here, white can go for the kill. This move. If black pushes again, you just Keima. If black Hane, you also Hane under. And then even if black goes Atari, Atari, and he connects, you turn and you make life inside. But when black connects, he's still completely dead. Yeah, you don't even need to play another move there. You can go out here. Because on this move, you're alive and black is trapped inside. So, cut this way. Now, Atari here would be bad because after black comes out, white cannot play this anymore. Black will capture. But white just plays Q11. Then when black defends, you no-B and kill everything. And if black comes out, you cut. He captures the Ponuki, but the right side is still safe. And this Ponuki is not so powerful because there are white stones around. I mean, white can easily play here or Atari like this. So in the end, this will worth only 2 points, but white got the profit on the side. So that was a way for white to keep the right side safe. Yeah, this is fine. Should Atari here once and separate. For now, this group on the right is still okay. Ah, too late. So let's say white plays this Atari. If black connects, you simply push. Oh wait, you Hane. That's good, because when cut, you connect. When Atari here, Atari from behind, and cut and kill everything on the right side. So the fight was still going hot in the center, which means why shouldn't Tenuki? On this move, black can also go Nobi, but then white has this peep, then capture a stone, and the group is still on the run. Even if black Hane like this, white can cut and fight the ko, for example, or connect and keep fighting. So the group on the right side is still in trouble for black. Therefore, white shouldn't play away right now. Well, that's good reducing, but here it's more interesting to play Tsuki like this and try to attack the whole thing. How to connect. Complicated formation for black here. Still a ko. So, some reducing under. Oh, black can block this. If white connects, then connect. So in the end, white can capture one stone, but it's a lot of effort to capture that one in Gote. Turn was good. Cut was small. And now black got sent again. That's fine. Stones seem to be connected. For now at least. Ah, black risked a lot here. Black should just connect. He's not behind. Yeah, that's good. Now here, white should connect this way, which is Sente. Black captures a stone. Then block this. Now black will capture. You have a throw in, Atari, go down and capture the ko. Now if black plays something that's not that big, you just take again and everything dies inside. So block, take, and Atari. Atari is still not the great thing to do. B3 or B2. Because if black connects here, white connects the stones, and now everything dies in the middle too. I mean, black can play one Atari like this, but when black tries to connect under, white has Atari from behind and capture these guys, and automatically kill the guys in the center too. There's a little bit of reading to do, but overall, black is short. Oh, white can even connect here. White has more liberties. So Atari, once you Atari, you need to come back at B2. Otherwise, black will capture B3 later on. So take the ko. And now you gotta give those stones, which is painful. And black can actually capture with a snapback. Hane, if white takes, black takes back. And the thing is, after Hane, even if you take this stone, black will catch more. Well, that happened anyway, but black needed to add another liberty. So for white it's good to capture this guy. Black will go Atari, then Atari here, and black needs to capture the 3 stones. Taking this one, black captures the corner. Yeah, that's good. And now black can actually play away. And the way to play here is block like this and connect to keep the eye shape. But the group was strong enough. I mean, even without playing M1, black can push here once. And he's got some eye shape in the center too. So black looks good taking the lower left corner. Alright. Sente. Push again. Okay, that was all Sente. Monkey jump. So how did white died in the top right? Should push and cut here. Let's see the last action in this game. Oh yeah, so this is how the group collapsed. Yeah, cool. And now the tail died, so it's time to resign. Nothing to do. And if white connects here, black captures the ko, but white is in Atari, so the tail will die anyway. So if you go back a few moves, let's see here. White can connect this way, black will push inside, white turns because he's threatening a cut, black needs to protect, and then white protects. If Hane, you just connect. If push here, you make a bamboo, and then black will catch this stone. But the game is still good for black because of this capture on the lower left and the territory in the top right. It's much closer, but it's still a win for black, I suppose. So playing like this was just a way to resign. So I hope you enjoyed this review and stop making these small tactical errors like the lower left corner. It will save more points in the future games.